You're on.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Talking Chickens number 35. You've got Matt and Mike with M&M Exhibition Poultry, and today we have a special guest. Well, we have two of them, but one of them's not going to guest very long because he's driving down the highway in California and he wants to pretend that he's afraid of getting picked up. Anyway, we have Jim Anderson and we have Mr. Larry Collmus, the voice of the Breeders' Cup and the Kentucky Derby and anything else that's on NBC. And if you're at Del Mar this year for any reason, you're going to hear Larry, and he's been everywhere and called races everywhere. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Great.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having me on.
Oh, hey, I mean, it's kind of a big deal to me being a horse racing guy my entire life and working beside announcers and I've known a few really good ones personally. I've never met you before, Larry. Been friends on Facebook for a while, but you're good, man. I really enjoy listening to you call the race, especially the race inside the race. There's nothing better. Jim, give us a little thingy there.
You're going to get to meet Larry, Mike, here in a couple of weeks when you're out here to judge my show.
That's the only reason I'm coming, Larry. Didn't care about nothing else. He said you get to meet Larry. I'll get you a free hat, and you can have dinner in the clubhouse. I said, what more can a man ask for?
There you go. I know it's been on your bucket list,
Perfect.
Mike, so
Absolutely.
we're glad to have you.
All right.
So
Jim, tell us how you and Larry, how this thing happened, and then.
Well, Larry and I started in the Bay Area quite a few years ago. I don't want to quite say how many, Larry, but we were, you may have heard me call him Old Man. We have a little running joke between us that we were talking in the press box at Vallejo, a track that doesn't even exist anymore. And Larry looked around the room because there was just a big area. There wasn't a room for the announcer, the stewards. Everybody kind of just shared the space. And Larry says, "I think I'm the youngest guy in the room." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "When's your birthday?" And he told me, and I said, "Hey, old man, how you doing?" And we've just been friends ever since. So all over the world, Larry and I have always texted or talked, and it's been great.
Small world.
Yeah. So he barely beat me in the age thing. So we're.
Yeah.
I thought I was the youngest. Turned out I wasn't. So.
Well, I think that's probably enough years ago. You probably both looked a little younger back then, eh?
Yes, for sure.
I think it would be. Yeah. Let's say it wasn't 20 years ago. It was a little more than that.
Yeah, a little more.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So, Larry, I kind of know your story because I follow this stuff. And a lot of our people probably, I know they don't. Some are casual observers or casual fans. And I hear from the Kentucky Derby time or Breeders' Cup time and who you like, who da 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 da. But other than that, they never talk. Unlike the guy right below me in this picture that never shuts up about horses. I don't know the fascination. So, Larry, how long have you been doing this? Announcing and what do you think maybe was your big break that put you into the realm that you're into now?
Well, I started when I was 18, so I will admit that was 40 and a half years ago. When I called my first race in Maryland growing up, and from there, I steadily kind of worked up the food chain a little bit. Going from track to track. I was the backup announcer in Maryland for a couple of years. Went to Birmingham, Alabama for my first full-time job, and then made my way to Northern California, where I met Jim and many other people calling the races at Golden Gate. I was 21 at the time, and ended up going back east to Boston, to Suffolk, down to Monmouth, and I was calling at Gulfstream in Florida. And then one day the phone rang in the press box or the announcer's booth at Gulfstream, and it was NBC Sports calling to see if I was interested because Tom Durkin was stepping down as the voice of the Triple Crown and the Breeders' Cup, and they said, "You want to do it?" And I thought somebody was playing a joke on me at the time, but as it turns out, it was real. they flew me to New York. I met everybody. They hired me that day, and here we are, 14 years later. I've called the 15 Kentucky Derbies now, and this will be my 14th Breeders' Cup. So it's been a wild run, and now I'm the full time announcer at Del Mar. So this is like a home game for me with the Breeders' Cup being out here in San Diego.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yep, just out of the blue, huh? I guess you never know.
Well, and that's how I ended up with Photo
Yeah,
Finish.
it was
It
the
was same thing,
Yeah,
out of the
yeah,
blue.
yeah
out of the blue.
the call from NBC. But Tom Durkin was no one knew that he was stepping down, and so when they called, I was as shocked as anybody. But it was a great out of the blue call, and glad I've had the opportunity to do it all these years.
Absolutely. And just a little thing on that. So you, basically you're following a legend. I mean, Durkin, there's so many memorable calls on him picking up horses, or when his excitement when they're coming to the wire, he knows he's going to get the call, a close one. I mean, it's not always, like a flight line that, runs off the screen. But I mean,
Right.
what did that feel like? Did you feel any added pressure to that? Because I mean, you are following Tom Durkin. It's not like, following Chop Liver.
No, no, and yeah, I definitely, Tom, because of how good he was over the years, he made us all better. Because we had to step up our game, and
Right.
when I was the guy that got to be the next guy after him, I knew that I had to be ready, and I did my best to follow in his footsteps, and so it's been quite a process over the years to now that I'm kind of the guy that has been around so long, that just to keep picking up my game every year, and continuing to try to do best as I can do. And now I'm at Del Mar. I'm replacing Trevor Denman, who was
Yeah.
a legend himself out
Oh
here
yeah.
for 40 years. So I, uh, I jokingly call myself the legend follower.
Yeah. Yeah. But
It's a good place to be.
Yep. That's an excellent place to be. I'll tell you, Trevor Denman. I'm not going to hear you say they'd have to sprout wings or moving like a winner or anything. Really?
No, that I try to avoid other people's lines,
Yeah.
but they've had some good ones over the years. But he and Tom have had so many memorable calls, and of
Yes.
course Dave Johnson too. When his years with ABC, they're just a lot of great race callers out there over the years, and I'm just happy that I've had a chance to be like one of those guys that gets to call the races at the highest level.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a special thing. I wanted to ask you about that. I remember I've never I trained for 30 some years, but never at big tracks. I mean, I've been to them, as a trainer, but never. That's not where I played my trade. Let's just say in the little leagues, and made a living there. But uh, I noticed a lot of announcers that I really enjoyed and still enjoy are the ones that can make the race within the race. Do you consciously do that when you're calling? I mean, you catch a horse and you might put him in before you so and so is moving. I think that makes a lot of difference, and I think it really helps because pretty soon you're looking for that horse. I mean, the people are looking. And if I was a
Right.
trainer and the announcer picked up the horse, I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm in front. Here comes so and so. Even though from where I was sitting,
Yeah.
I couldn't see from your viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking, you're obviously keeping track of all of them, but yeah, you're definitely eyeballing, especially favorites that are near the back of the pack. You're taking a look and seeing how the jockey's riding the horse, if he hasn't asked the horse to run yet, and you know that it's coming. It's just a
Right.
matter of time, and then when you can see the horse picking up stride. And one of the things that Trevor Denman taught me years ago is take a look at the ears of the horse. if the ears are pinned back, usually that means they've already given their all. But if their ears are up and pricked, it means that they haven't yet. And so I'll definitely try to follow that, and little things that from just experience to look for over the years, and you do a little handicapping too. Look at the past performances, see who the expected speed is, who the expected closers are, and you put that all into play. And of course, it never happens every time like you expect it to, but when you're on top of it, it's great when you can pick up a horse that's last at at the on the far turn, and follow that horse as he passes everybody to the wire. It makes for a better call for sure.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent.
We're gonna be watching real close because I happen to own 0.01% of Seismic Beauty, and she's running in the Breeders' Cup, or he's running in the Breeders' Cup. So we'll be watching real close.
She's probably gonna be favorite too, I suppose, or close to it.
Me and about 27,000 people.
I would think she would be.
Yeah, she's nice filly.
Yeah, she's awfully good, and I think she will be the favorite in that race. The My Racehorse thing has been cool. It's been an opportunity for people to get involved.
Yes, it has.
That don't have to put up a whole lot of cash, and it's been great. They've got that horse. They've got Straight No Chaser, who won the sprint last year, and he's going to be back this year. It's a cool thing to get people interested and be a part of the sport.
Yep, Seize the Gray made us some money, didn't she, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seize the Gray for sure, winning the Preakness.
Yeah.
We've had a couple clunkers too, but we'll let them pass on that. We've had a couple get claimed.
That's okay. That's part of the game.
Retired.
I've had the clunkers. I've had more of the clunkers with them. And of course, I would spout off on what should be done, but it's pretty easy when you don't do it anymore and you're sitting on your butt from home complaining. That's really easy. Really easy. I want to ask you something else on this Breeders' Cup. Now, there's like on like on Friday too, but there's only 5 races Friday, and then you got a boatload on Saturday, and there's horses from literally all over the world that are coming in. I know how you pick up silks and everything. Is that a longer? I mean, you have to cram a little bit more on making sure you. I mean, everybody knows Godolphin, and I mean when they come in, well, not everybody, but like we do. I mean, that Royal Blue, that's them. But I mean, some of the other horses, you have to really put it in your mind what those silks are, so you know where they are when you're calling.
Yeah, 100%. Now, like in front of me, I've got these sandwich bags, and I've got flashcards for every horse and every race of the Breeders' Cup in here.
Oh, really?
That's how I keep. So, I just over and over until I feel like I know them, and then the same thing will happen race day. So I don't do that for every occasion. But for the Breeders' Cup and the Kentucky Derby, I get the flashcards, and it's a huge help.
Larry, we can't see you and barely hear you.
We lost him, I think.
I think we lost him.
I still have him connected, but we can chat with Mr. Jim there while he's driving.
So, Jim, what do you do on Breeders' Cup?
So, the job I do to afford my hobby is photo finish. And so when I talk about photo finish, a lot of people just assume that I'm taking the picture of the winner after the race with all the owners in there and that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing the picture that decides who wins the race. I'm up on the roof of the grandstand with the stewards using a line scan photo finish camera. We shoot at about 5,000 lines per second, and we get you the winner. Sometimes a dead heat, but we provide that so that they can make the race official and give everybody the payouts.
And when you do that, like Jim, I mean, that's for that's for you can see every position, right? You know, like not just the winner, but you can separate second and third and fourth, fifth, and whatever.
So the camera is fixed on one spot at the finish line, and I am capturing everything that passes in front of that one spot, line by line. So it's not just taking one picture, it's constant running until all the horses pass the finish line. And with that, we determine the margins. Like if you're reading the racing form and you see a horse won by 2 3/4 lengths, we determine that with photo finish. Or if you were fifth, beaten 7.5, that same thing is all done off the photo finish.
Oh, cool. That's neat. Yep. They still have splashdowns. It's been a long time since I've been in the booth, buddy.
Well, we did away with film quite a while ago now. We've been digital for a long time, but yeah, I did a lot of.
I haven't been there in a
lot
long
of
time.
Yeah, I did a lot of film. Did a lot of film.
Well, we got you for a few more minutes anyway. If you'll thank Larry for us.
Absolutely.
I wish he wouldn't have. It was really getting interesting with the flashcards and everything. Maybe sometime later on, if people like this, I know I like it, and I'll get to see him in a couple of weeks. But maybe we can come back on. He could just tell us a little bit more about. I think it's very interesting how you can remember 15 to 16 different sets of colors in every single race. It's amazing to me because I forget people's names as they walk away from it.
Right.
That was the question I wanted to ask him, if he ever really messed up.
Well, it's, I'm sure there's been that occasional situation, but Larry's pretty darn sharp. So
yeah, he's really good.
And you'll get to talk with him in person, and we'll get him back on. That's a phone call I'm happy to make, and when he's not having technical issues or pressed for time with Breeders' Cup, we'll spend a little more time with him.
Yeah, I wanted to tell our viewers that we had to do it now because Larry has to be back to the draw. We're going to draw shortly for the Breeders' Cup. He didn't have a whole lot of time, and he's going to be there for that. And I don't know if he's doing NBC. I don't know what they're doing, but I know he's got to be there, and I think that's really cool. Jim, tell us about your show real quick.
Well, the show is November 22nd out here in Southern California. We're going to be at the fairgrounds. It's called the SoCal Fairgrounds out in Paris. And last year was our second year. We had about 1,000 birds, and we're, with the first year we had about 800. So if we can keep growing, that'd be great. And we're hoping to keep it growing and keep it going. It's California had the misfortune of having most of their shows last year canceled because of AI, and my show and one other one here in California were able to be had, and then everything got shut down. So we're going to be the first show back up again. We're the only show in 2025. There are some regulations to go with what we're doing, but nothing we can't handle, and we're fortunate enough that the California Department of Food and Agriculture has okayed us to go ahead and have our show. So we're going to do that, and Mike's going to come out, and we're all going to have a good time.
Yep. You got me, Ben Porter, Jeff Halbach, and Amanda.
Yep, and Amanda Hughes, Amanda Clark.
Yep. So we should have a really good time with that. How's entries coming? Getting a few?
Yep, they're starting to trickle in, especially here, and I'm sure other shows have the same issue. We're notorious for getting everything at the last minute. And, this week, Wednesday, we're going to hit 90 degrees here in Southern California for 3 days. So these poor chickens who have just started to push some feathers are going to go, wait, what? What happened? So they're not going to know whether they should drop them or push them. So we're going to be dealing with that for a little bit.
We've always found, I know all the years I ran a show, is whatever I have on the closing date, I'll double. So that means half the people wait till the very last minute. So
Yeah, at least. And we're fortunate. I've talked with some of the guys that come from like Utah and Arizona and things like that. They're coming. So, I know that their entries will be here shortly, and, they'll help boost our numbers quite a bit. If you're coming all the way from northern Utah, you're not bringing a couple birds, you're bringing a bunch.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good drive for them.
Yeah. And still, I believe we are the closest show for those boys to come down. Because by the time they got to come down to me and then cut over to go to any of the other shows. So, yeah, we're fortunate to have them.
Good deal.
Old English class will be over 100 easy. Probably over 200. The last couple of years we've had over 200 Old English in each show. So
That's a good
good
deal.
deal.
good sized class.
Yeah, and
Well,
you've got an auction.
Yeah, you got the silent auction, I think, coming up too.
We do it a little different. We do a live auction. I have an auctioneer that helps me, and we do a live auction. And you'll see live on Facebook when we do the auction, and we've sold our birds really well. It helps cover the costs. It's anybody that thinks that a chicken show is inexpensive or easy to put on, man,
They've
no.
never done it. That's what usually I can tell
It's
they've never done it.
Yeah, I did. The first year I did it, when I got done, I felt like I got run over by 10 semi trucks, and every tire hit me on the way. So, and you're talking to a guy who rides horses every day and works hard every day with what I do, and I still, whew, man, you want to talk about get run over? That was it.
Yeah,
I'd rather saddled up three or four broncs so that it never had a hand on them and try to climb on than what happened the first year.
But you didn't back down. See, you're a true horseman. You still
Kept going.
eat whether it's smart or not. You're going to keep going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I blame my mom and dad for that. And that's a good thing to blame them for. It's that was installed early on. It was our business. Mom was a trainer, dad was a jockey, and I was in the business from the start. I could ride before I could walk, so it was natural for me to take the jump and go into the business.
Yep.
Wasn't expecting the photo finish part of it, but pleasant surprise.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you're not.
So lets me work with the horses in the morning and do the photo finish in the afternoon.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good deal. And then you got money to play with chickens.
Yep, exactly. You got to have a job to pay for the hobby.
That's exactly.
And I'm fortunate to have what I have, and I've always, with the horse races, I've always just said, do as many different things as you can in horse racing, and there'll always be a job for you. So I've spent time doing a lot of different things. Quite often, you'll find me out riding in the morning, and that's kind of like being the police on the racetrack. You're there to help riders that are having trouble or catch loose horses or help move them in the right direction, and still have my afternoon job. So
Yep, that's exactly right.
been fortunate.
Yeah, that was like me. I mean, besides being a trainer and been a groom and a trainer and a hot walk, and of course being a trainer, you do all those things, and then get into in the racing office and start as a stall man, and then you're stall man, and then you can do entries. So you're entry clerk, and you're stall man and entry clerk, and you learn how to be identifier. Then you're stall man, entry clerk, identifier, and then somebody doesn't show up on the roof, and then you're a placing judge, and then someone forgets to go get the claim. So then you're the claims clerk. So yeah, the more you can do.
Oh yeah, that's I've been Stewards A. I've been. Oh yeah, I've done placing, I've been video patrol, you always learn to uh, keep the game going, right?
Yep. If that's
So,
the name of the game, the show must go
my
on.
dad, my dad was a, yeah, my dad was a jockey from 1958 to 74. And when he retired from being a jockey, he became a racing secretary and went from being a racing secretary to being a steward.
You never
And
know.
after he retired from all that, yeah, Dad was still riding until they shut down Golden Gate Fields up north. 82 years old, still riding every day and ponying horses and just enjoying the business, enjoying racing and horse racing.
We have a love for the animals. I mean,
Yeah,
it is what it is. It gets in you. There is no cure. There's none.
right. No.
So you might as
And
well
then
be.
I was fortunate enough. I grew up on a fairly large farm, and Mom, was always supportive of whatever I wanted to try, and I really took a liking to the chickens. So that's stuck with me all these years, and I was in it hot and heavy about 25 years ago, and then life happened, and things took over, and I was out for a little bit. But it's kind of like the racehorses. You get back in,
Yeah, there's no cure. There's
and
absolutely.
there was a definite need for a poultry show in Southern California, so uh, I stepped up and knew going into it that woo, I was getting into something. And
I used to
yeah,
do one a couple times over in Bakersfield, but I don't think they have that one anymore.
they do
They have a
not.
couple, yeah, AVA semi-annuals over there, and I judged it a couple times. So kind of a neat location. So I got to go to the honky tonks when I was out
Right,
there the last
right. Well,
time.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're up there in Roy Clark
Buck Owens
country and
territory.
Buck
Buck
Owens,
Owens,
yeah.
yeah, Buck
Buck Owens.
Owens.
Yep.
There used to be 12 shows here in California, and it got down to only 4. And so that was another reason for me to step up. And I do a double show. I'm the only double show here in California. So now we're technically back to six shows, but it's no small undertaking.
No, that's for sure.
And
Well,
I really enjoy the camaraderie that goes with it too. There's a lot of really good people that enjoy our hobby, and uh, it's a good time.
You know what surprised me, Jim, is how many people that I didn't know and I've known for years that enjoy the horse part and watching races and talking. It's amazing to me that's in our hobby.
Right? Yeah. Well, Tracy Hill, for example, I've known Tracy for over 30 years, and he'll occasionally send me a random text, and he'll be at a racetrack somewhere, and he knows what I do, and oh yeah, here's the paddock from so and so, and I'm at the races today. So yeah, it's and I've met a lot more even since with talking with you. Oh yeah, talk to so and so, and oh yeah, So yeah, there's quite a few that enjoy our sport.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's a good sport. It's like Matt was around harness horses most of his life, and then you know, then he started and then got into the My Racehorse, and I don't know. I think it's a mogul now in My
yeah,
Racehorse.
yeah. I own 1.01% of 3. So, um, but Seismic Beauty's
But it's the action,
is
right? You're
yeah.
involved.
It's kind of interesting just to follow them along, and when they come out with their prospectus to see whether you want to get in on that one or not. So we've had a few clunkers, but a couple good ones. So and it makes you want watch it a lot more. I follow all of them when they do run. So and this one being
Right.
this one being a Baffert horse was one of the reasons I jumped on that one. So and I
Sure.
liked its
Sure.
pedigree, had a really good pedigree. So in harness horses, that means everything usually. And somewhat in the thoroughbreds as well.
Well, and when 1986, I started doing photo finish, and I worked 3 years up in Oregon doing the little fair circuit up there. A call, the same thing happened with me. I got a call. I was up at a track called Grants Pass in Southern Oregon, and all of a sudden I had phone messages. You got to realize it's 1986. There's no such thing as a cell phone. So I get these phone calls, all these messages. Hey, call Golden Gate Fields, call Golden Gate Fields. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'd had a pretty decent horse, a marathon horse that I'd sent down to my dad to go ahead and run. And I thought, oh no, maybe something happened. And, they need me to call Golden Gate. Well, what had happened was the photo finish operator that was there was having trouble and couldn't turn out a photo. And my dad, who happened to be there, went and told the stewards, hey, the kid's sitting up in Grants Pass doing photo finish. Maybe you should call him. He could probably be here. Well, the next day I was on a plane, and next thing you know, I'm in Northern California doing photo finish, and yeah, been doing it ever since in California. That was 1988. Yep.
Every track.
Every track, and unfortunately, sadly, quite a few that aren't here anymore.
Right. Because
But and that's another thing. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's like you're basically, but when Los Al's running, you're doing 2 tracks a day, a lot of days.
There was a time, when Los Al would start a little later at night. I would be in Pomona in the morning galloping horses, and I'd be in Santa Anita in the afternoon doing photo finish, and I'd be at Los Alamitos at night doing photo finish, and then get up and get on horses again the next morning. So, yeah. I'm not that young anymore.
No, but that's how you keep your money because you're too damn busy to spend it. You're never.
Oh,
you're moving.
Yeah, that's it. It really is. And then you talk about harness. I did harness photo finish in Cal Expo, Sacramento, as well. And at that time, let's see, I was breaking colts in the morning, and doing photo finish at night with harness. And then like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd go down to Golden Gate Fields and pony there in the afternoons, and then come back up to Sacramento and get on horses the next. Oh God, I was nuts. I don't know what I was thinking. But
now,
like I said, you got to keep working.
You're back to just your 2 jobs. You're down to 2 jobs and chickens. You're retired.
What? Yeah, right. I'm never going to get to retire. But yeah, enjoy the chickens, and been blessed to have some good help with good stock to get started with and breed from, and we'll see what you think of them when you get out here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I think it's his first time to California.
No, it's my first time at Del Mar, but I've been to California, but I've never been
for chicken shows.
Yeah, no. So it should be interesting. I'm just glad that we got Del Mar in on Friday because you never know, you might be mad at me come Saturday.
You might leave him at the airport.
Or you're gonna hit the pick 6 and go, chicken show? What chicken show?
Yeah. Here.
I know how he picks, Jim. That's going to be a real slim chance there.
Well,
5 out of 6 would be all right though. I'm big on that 5 out of 6. Don't pay shit, but I'm big on it.
Yeah, you can hit 5 of them, but that last one, you got to bet all.
Right. Well, Tijuana's only like 45 minutes away from Del Mar, so
Uh-oh. Been there.
Hit the pick 6, and I'm going to go, where the hell did Mike go?
Yeah. He's down there with $1 a quart bottle of tequila.
Oh my goodness.
Jimmy, what are you breeding out there?
Boy, did this conversation go sideways. Holy smokes.
What are you breeding out there besides it? I mean, I know you got BBs.
Yeah. In Old English, I've got BBs, I've got black, I've got blue Wheaton, and Wheaton. So in BBs, I've got male and female line. In black, I've got male and female line. In blue Wheaton, just female line. And in Wheaton, I've got male line. And I got a buddy of mine that works with me. His name's David Roof. He's up in Northern California, and he's working with the female line Wheatons, and he's got some BBs that he works with me, and it works out well because he's got some of my stuff up there at his place, and guess what? If anything happens, I got backups.
Yep.
Which is pretty darn important to have. I try to miss with I try to play with something in the other classes as well. So I've got some buff Plymouth Rocks I'm working on. There's a gentleman back in South Carolina named David Jett who got me started with those, and you're gonna get to see those in a little bit too. I'm hoping we're heading in the right direction. I think we are. And some D'Anvers in the rose comb clean leg, and I mess with the moderns a little bit. I've got some red pile and black and brown red moderns.
That's enough.
I try to, well, so besides what I want for myself, I really want, I help the 4-H kids a lot, and you're gonna have to excuse me for a second. So I'm gonna have to plug the phone in here. It's starting to fade out on me, so give me just a second. And yes, I have pulled over and stopped.
Oh, good.
So
I knew you were talented, but I wasn't sure how talented. I was kind of getting scared there.
Here we go. All right, we're plugged in. So I help support the 4-H kids a lot with their projects. I've even had judges that have judged county fairs out and around here, and I'll get a call after they've judged the fair, and they go, I see your influence out here. And I'm like, good. That means that what I'm doing to help the kids is working. And that's important because I had that help when I was a kid, and it meant the world. And so if I can help them, I'm darn sure going to do it. So
That's a good idea. And I know you help in other ways, just like in your auction. I mean, you bring new birds in from like out here and even farther east than us, so that people have something different.
They get an opportunity, yes, to work with a bloodline that they might not be able to get a hold of otherwise. Right.
Especially with shipping and everything the way it is, it's just insane.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Well, and the large fowl coming in, Tim Bellinger has donated a pair of Langshans, and that's some pretty good blood, and that's hard to get out here, especially when it's large fowl. We're fortunate that I have friends that are headed back to Fayetteville for the show, and Adam Dye and Denise Stevens are headed back there, and they're going to bring birds back for me. So I've got some big buff Orpingtons coming. Thank you, Mike and Dustin, for making that happen. And I've got some large fowl white sultans coming down from Washington. I've got.
Well, I got to see that.
Yeah.
Don't bring any back.
Boy, can I fix you up?
Whew, yeah, man. My daughter, that's her. She has the Bantams, but that's her abomination, I think, is everything that's wrong with the chicken is all in one bird.
Well, Tom Parsons is up there in Walla Walla, Washington, and he's done a really good job with these birds, and he's been generous enough to donate a pair of them to the auction, and they're beautiful. You'll start seeing our promotion on Facebook here pretty quick with the auction birds. With the let's see what else we've got. Brown red Old English coming from Jimmy Sorrells. I've got BB reds coming from Shane Morris. The people that have stepped, Jeff Duguay just donated a trio of birch and moderns. James Miller, I've got a trio of lemon blue moderns from him. There's some pretty big players.
You
Mhm.
got
Yep,
the quail
yep.
and the antlers too.
From Chad from Chad Satterfield. It's just we've just the big players in the game have been kind enough to do me a favor, and so
That's always good. I know Mike did a good job with the ABA auction coming up in Columbus. We've got quite the lineup there too. And then I'm seeing the prices that Arkansas is getting already because they do like a pre-bid up until the show, and then they do like you do. They go live on Facebook, and you can call in or whatever. But some of those birds are like crazy money already, so that's always good, and it's good that the people do that. We always appreciate the donors doing that. Number one, and number two, it's a chance for people to get stock they, like you said, they're not going to see. So
right, and especially we're the furthest away from just about everybody, so
yes,
our expenses are, we're on an island out here. California is an island when it comes to poultry. So when we can get some new blood and some new influence, it makes a big difference.
it always
And
amazed me.
so,
Ellie Hamlin is a friend of mine down in LA, and we always
mhm,
traded moderns back and forth. He could send me moderns and they'd be here in one day. I would turn around and send them back here to LAX. It would take 4 days. Makes no
right,
sense why one way it's here overnight and the next day. So we always laughed about that because if I sent them on Monday, she was going to get them Thursday or Friday. If she sent them on Monday, I had them Tuesday. So it makes
you're
no
right.
sense at all.
Lots of flights out and in of the LA area, but maybe not as many into or out of where you're sending
Columbus
from.
as we have.
So, that's yeah, I've had that happen too.
Yeah, it's crazy. You would think it'd be the same, but it's not. So
Um, and I'm thinking about possibly changing just a little bit with the live auction. I've watched exactly what you're talking about with Arkansas. We might just open that up the same way.
it's kind of neat. But the good thing about them, they have enough people to do it. That's the problem. They have to have like
Hmm.
three people on the phones, and the first time they did it when we were out there the last APA National, I thought, my God, just the logistics of making that function. But that's exactly how they pay for their show. So they get $3,000 or $4,000 every year, and that's what pays the bills because, like you, they got a nice building, but it's expensive and they want
Yep.
to stay in that nice building and not go back to the fairgrounds. So that was their idea to raise money to keep them where they're at.
Well, and last year, for example, with me, I bought a bunch of cages,
Yeah,
so I'm already behind it. No
yeah,
matter no matter what, it's going to
and
take a little while.
it's horrible what they cost now, and the used ones are about all grabbed up from all the old big shows that went under.
Hmm.
And I don't even know how you could start a show. The payback return on that investment is very slow. So and
Well,
unless you can
and
do like 3 or 4 shows a year, you're not going to get it back real quick.
right. Well, but I knew that going into it, and once again, I was ready to step up and do that. So that's what I'm doing, and I've had talks with Santa Anita about putting on the show out there, and they're excited about doing it. So we're going to see if we can. I can't think of a prettier
No,
facility to have
it's
a chicken show at than Santa Anita
even
Park.
with up in Lodi when they moved to that facility. So it's funny as many times as I've been up there, I've been in every place they've ever been. So I've been in Stockton, I've been in Modesto, I've been up in
Okay.
Pine Grove, I think I've been in Sacramento, and now they're down
Roseville,
in
yeah.
Lodi and Roseville, yeah, and Jim and Bonnie when they moved it out there. But that facility combined with that wine thing and it gives everybody something to do. Plus, it brought in so many more people that normally wouldn't be going to a chicken show. So I think with
Right.
having it at Santa Anita, you're going to pick up those folks that would come over to see what the hell's going on. Number one, and number two, to
Exactly.
realize that people actually do this.
Yep. Yep. And that's kind of the target.
There's
Yep.
nowhere prettier but the San Gabriel Mountains
Oh
back
my
there.
goodness.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's worth the price of admission. I mean, right there. So, no, I'm
I
I'm
know
really looking forward to having it there. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Dave Anderson used to have that show right there on the beach. That was a nice one
Right.
too. Um,
Yep.
but I don't think that happens anymore either. I think that got
It does not. And Dave has been very generous and given me a bunch of equipment to help my show go.
Good deal.
Good. That's real
Yep.
good.
And he comes out and shows.
Good deal. Yep. And then, he's getting up there like the rest of us, and he's still getting around. I know I talked to him at, I think it was Columbus last year or 2 years. Oh, at the 150th. So, he's
Right.
he's getting around still. So that's a good thing. I think that's what keeps him going is all those birds.
Well, that's what keeps us all going, really.
Yep.
Between the birds
Yeah.
or the horses, or if you've got,
It's like having a
something
barn full of
depends
2-year-olds.
on you. Yeah, something is depending on you. It gives you a reason to do to get up and get going. And
If you have a barn full of 2-year-olds, that's something to get up and go to the barn for.
Yep. It
Oh,
just
yeah,
cringe when you walk in, right?
well,
For sure.
you hope all their heads are hanging out, and then you got the first thing done is all the heads are hanging out, so everything's okay there. But
Yeah.
there's never been a trainer ever commit suicide that had a decent 2-year-old in the barn, because he figures
Right.
at 3 years old, this one may be the one.
Yeah. Everybody wants to get to the Derby. That's for sure.
So, got any hot tips for the?
That's the hot tips.
I want to see the draw first.
Yeah, me too. That should be really.
Although I'm hearing this horse that Matt has a small part of is pretty live.
Yeah.
That scares me that everybody's hyping it already. So we'll see
Well,
what happens. I like to see who's on him. I think I seen the report they sent out from my racehorse today. So
probably
Right.
yeah, it wasn't somebody I recognize. So
Who was it? Did you see?
Huh?
it was on. I'd have to dig it back out.
Okay.
Take it back out, because I just figured it'd be Hernandez. I mean,
So did I, but right. But you've got everybody from the world coming in, so
Yep.
it could even be Johnny V.
That wouldn't break my heart.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Right.
you looking it up?
Yeah,
So okay, one more Breeders' Cup thing, because
Okay.
so I know that you're busy and and sometimes it's casual. I mean, because you're doing everything, you're at the racetrack, but you got a lot of shit going on. You've seen a lot of horses run this year in the
Yep.
good horses. Do you think Sovereignty?
Fierceness.
That's
Watch out for Fierceness. Sovereignty is the now horse, and he's legit. Watch out for Fierceness. Kind
I've
of
always
interesting
liked
too
that
that journalism made a jock change. They've went from Rispoli over to, I think, Jose Ortiz.
Yep.
And yeah, you got to wonder what. Yeah.
Well, I guarantee that his timing will be better on the dirt, and he will not
Yep.
let him dick around back there. He will make him be in the race and pay attention to what he's doing at all times.
Yeah.
Not that off
Yep.
on shit. That off on. When it's on, it's got to be on, because I love journalism. As you know, I bet him in everything he's been in the Triple Crown,
Right.
trying to beat Sovereignty. But he's one of those horses that he has a world of ability. Now, his ability may be capped. He might not be as good as Sovereignty, but if you have to do everything right on him. He's got to give the 100%. You got to get the 100% out if you're going to beat that kind of. You have to. Those are. You look at 5 or 6 of them in there, Jim. Any of them could win.
Oh yeah, this is a very deep field. There's no doubt.
Yep, it's one of the deepest I've seen in a long time. So yeah, I'm going to go against the grain again. Probably. I may have a saber on but that's not my.
There goes that pick
sir.
6 I was talking about.
Yeah, that's it, baby. We'll have him in on one, but I'm a Fierceness guy. I think this time, I'll have my favorite horse Sierra Leone in there somewhere. It's going to have the pace is going to have to match up. Something's going to have to happen, because he's going to be coming. I mean, he will fight. He may be second or third again, but he will fire. He'll make you run. I like that about him. And the Japanese horse. That son of a bitch has never run a bad race in his life, except that
Right.
one time in Dubai. That's the worst race he's ever run. I mean, or UAE, where it was. I mean, he's a hell of a horse. So I'm
Yep.
really looking forward to this. We'll be
We're going to be
judging.
on the road though. Yeah, we'll be judging it.
We'll be at there. We'll be judging, but I know how to tell time, and I know how to time a damn cigar, buddy. I will be out that
And you
door. That phone will be
and
on.
you know who can give you live updates if you want.
I can get live
There we go.
updates at all time. I know a goof on the roof of my very own.
That's
Close to it.
you got one.
I mean, you're up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, Jimmy. If there's anything else, are you home or you just pulled over because you got tired of fighting this?
No, I'm close to home, but it was easier to pull off here. Besides, there's an Arby's right over there that I can get some lunch at because I haven't eaten yet.
There you go. Oh, that's right. It's like it's hell. It's almost 4 there.
Yeah, but I started at 0 dark 30 so I could get down to Del Mar today and get all the photo equipment set up. And I was the last guy out of the roof at Santa Anita last night. I didn't get home until late, and I wake up at 3 a.m. out of habit, and boy, I didn't want to wake up at 3 a.m. I'm usually going by 3:30 in the morning, 6:30 your time, but I'm usually going by 3:30, and I'm usually on my first horse by 5 o'clock. So,
Yeah. I get
that's
that text at
built
7.
in.
I
And
get a text at 7 in the morning. Your ass up? But yeah, it's 7. Your ass is up, but it's 4.
yeah, but you're not having to go and get on a horse. So I just
No.
figure I better ask.
He's got to go get on the wrong side of a cup of coffee. Is what he's got to
That's
do.
right. I'm probably on my second or third one by then, thinking it looks cold out. I don't know if I should go out or wait a little bit.
I can't find in all my emails where they announced a jockey yet for Seismic Beauty, so he must be
Okay.
holding off or hasn't got it confirmed. Or
Well,
something.
it'll be in the draw is going on.
Yeah, once
probably
the
as
draw
we speak,
comes.
so it'll be there. Yeah, I
I'll
like.
probably have it tonight because I think I've gotten 10 emails from them today. They're promoting hard. They want you to buy more horses.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. We've got a few of the syndicate groups out here and based in California as well. Besides my racehorse, which is all over the country, but there's just some that are based right here, and they're all doing the same thing right now.
Little Red Feather is there.
Yeah, Little Red Feather. Billy's a good friend of mine.
Yep.
And
now he enjoys himself.
oh boy, yes, for sure. And he gets so excited, and he gets the group. He'll usually have, especially with Del Mar, he'll have a big group of people there, and he gets the whole group fired up. And oh yeah, he's a good man to have.
I remember back. Remember when Singletary went to the Breeders' Cup? I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I watched that whole thing, and I thought these guys
Right?
have more fun. I mean, and then he won. That was the great
Yep.
part. Is the horse actually won? But yeah, that's how I got to know him. And I thought, man, what a fun bunch that has to be. And you get to see him there.
Yep. I see Billy 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, really, really good folks out there. Trying to think, there's something else that I can't think what it was. I don't know.
Well, we can do this again, and we can talk chickens more because there's a lot of people that were really influential in helping me get started, even
Yep, definitely.
30
We'll
years
get you
ago.
back on.
And I'd like to.
We get through these next 2 weeks, we'll have like a breeze for a while.
Right.
So
We'll share all that because they really were helpful, and well, you'll see.
I understand. I know whereabouts that was coming from. Yeah, once we get through this week, and then the following week with Collmus, because it'll be a madhouse from this week. It'll be a madhouse from Thursday on because we're leaving 7 o'clock at your house, Matt. We're leaving Thursday morning at 7. Then we won't get back to God knows when, early Monday morning, and then it's a short turnaround.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I'll be down there. We'll be washing chickens Tuesday, so that we can
Right.
show up, and go to the show on Friday. And then there's 81 or 200 at Columbus and all the meetings, and we'll yell at you there because you'll be in on the Zoom call. And
Right. Yep. For sure.
it's going to be wild. And then I get a little time off. I get to come see you, and I get to play.
Yep.
And then when we come back, there's one or two shows. There's one show in December. We're going to Knoxville. Other than that,
Gotcha,
I think we're just going to enjoy ourselves. As long as we don't get asshole deep in snow or something here.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, we'll just, I'm listening to Matt talk about Santa Anita and being out here to California before, I'm probably going to need a judge or two come that time I have that show at Santa Anita. I wonder if I could twist.
Well,
You think I
it's
think I
been a
could twist
couple
that
years.
guy's arm?
When I used to be with a company called Computer Renaissance, and we had conventions twice a year, and most of the time they were in California. So I've been all over Long Beach, San Diego,
Well, you
up
lived out
north.
there somewhere. When
I
you were
lived
a kid, you lived out there.
Barstow. That was the asshole of the world.
Yeah, that didn't last long. But Matt went out there.
I was there for about 90 days or 30 days. I can't remember now how long. It wasn't very long. That I realized fat boys in the desert don't mix. It's too hot.
It does get hot there, but
The day I rolled in, it was 114, and they said you got to get used to the heat. Well, the short time I was there, I never got used to the heat.
right.
He rolled his ass right back to Ohio.
Yeah, I was glad to see a cornfield because it was
Yeah, it's
tumbleweed and dust out there.
I know when I hit Barstow, I'm halfway to Vegas, so
Yeah, that was the only good thing. I could on the weekends we could be in LA or Vegas. Either just decide which bad decision you want to make.
right. Yep.
Well, Jimmy, thanks a lot.
Absolutely. And we'll get Larry back again.
Yeah, and
Sounds
tell
good.
him we really appreciate it. And I know he was pressed, and when he found out he did, there was no time for him to get back on. But I'm really glad,
Yeah.
and sometime we'll get him back on when everything dies down, and he's got a little time, and you've got a little time, and we can just bullshit about whatever we want to bullshit. But I'm really interested.
You got it.
I think it helps a lot of people realize what goes into. Well, we know it goes into the horse trading part, but into anything in that, like calling those races and his flashcards and going through all that, and how you have to discipline yourself to actually remember without looking all over the place what you're looking at through binoculars, because they call the race live. I mean, they're looking at the race; they're not looking at a damn monitor. So it's pretty amazing to me.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
And we can give you a little more about how photo finish works too.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
we can do that. And we could do 45 minutes to an hour on chickens too. I mean, we'll just talk about
Absolutely.
whatever. You're gonna be like the West Coast connection.
There we go.
I'm happy to do it. Happy to do it.
We'll just say we know a guy. You're the guy.
Well, happy to do it.
All right.
Hey, don't forget
All right, boys.
to like, subscribe, share, and sponsored by Rogier's.
And hatching time.
Absolutely.
And hatching
Get the
time.
link.
I know I placed an order today, so we do have one affiliate link that worked. So I got those little waterers with the cups on them to replace. So
You're the guy. I saw where somebody did that. No, we've had 4.
no, okay. Well, I got that one because those are nice. I like those cups they have. So those are nice individual cage waterers, and you don't have to mess with them because they have a lid on them. Though they don't get dirty real quick. So about once a month with the sanitizer with those cups. So
Right.
We'll have it.
When I have I think I have 4 of those hatching time incubators, the cabinet incubators. So yeah, I'm thrilled with them.
yeah, I can't. I know some people have had some issues, but I can't complain about mine. Mine's like 4 years old now, and I went from 60% to over 90.
Yep.
So.
Exactly.
All right, well, get off of here. My phone is blowing up, so we'll see you.
All right, boys. Catch you down the road.